So this is what I would do to kind of combat that. And I think the thing that is making the F80 so controversial, even though I think it's a great concept and a great thing to put into production, I think it's the fact that it is confused. It is sending mixed messages, and people are feeling a little bit of a sense of nostalgia for the supercars that came before. It should be unmanageable. It should be scary as all get out, and that is kind of what the Ferrari F40 was. So here's how you fix it. I would say that Ferrari should have either made two completely different models. Maybe make the body lines a little bit different to give it some differentiation, so that neither car looks like a cop-out, right? Or you go, one level below that, and you at least give it some different trims. So I'm going to describe this in the trims, and then just translate it to that first option. So I looked up on Google Translate English to Italian, and I said, how do you say executive? Turns out executive in Italian is executivo. That's masculine version, in case anyone. And I looked up warrior.
Guerriero. Guerriero.
My mic has gone off. Okay. And warrior is guerriero. Okay. So here's what I would do. I would make the Ferrari F80 Executivo. And the Executivo would be exactly the model that we have right now, the 20-speed automatic with 3 electric motors and the wing that articulates. It goes up and down and all that kind of stuff, and it's quieter. And Ferrari said they want people to be able to use that car. I don't know why would you be concerned with using your $3.1 million car, because by the time you bought that car, you already know you have a whole bunch of other cars, and that this one is going to be kind of a weekend car. And by weekend, I mean like twice a year, so you can keep the miles down. Like, we know that that's going to happen with this car. Plus, with all those electric engines, motors, I wouldn't want to put a lot of miles on it anyway. But the Executivo would be exactly what Ferrari launched, and then we would have the Guerriero model, the F80 Guerriero. Guerriero means warrior in Italian, according to the Googles. And you know what I would do with the Guerriero? I would strip it of at the very least, I would strip it of the electric motors on the front axles, so it's just all-time rear-wheel drive. And I would delete the electric motors, or the electric motor between the engine and flywheel, and I would just let that 888 horsepower twin turbocharged V6, I would just let that sucker sink. And you would have some weight savings from getting rid of the electric motors. You'd have some weight saving from getting rid of the battery, although the battery in that one isn't very big. I would also I would fix that rear wing. You're gonna drop some weight there because there's a lot of mechanisms going on to make that thing work. I would make it a tall, fixed wing. Doesn't have to be exactly like the F40 was, but it would just be fixed. And then I would gut some of the interior, and it would just be, and I would put a manual transmission in it, because, everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, it's slower. Well, yeah, but it's also got a manual. And you know what I would do? I would price it for the exact same money. And here's why. So both the Executivo and the Guerriero, both of them would sell out, because that's just what flagship Ferraris do. But I would watch those prices over the next 5 to 10 years, because one is going to be the most desirable one, the Guerriero or the Executivo. I would be willing to bet that the Guerriero would be the more desirable one, because it's got less electric motors. It's got the manual transmission. It's a little bit louder. It's gruffier, and it reminds people a lot more of a modernized F40. Whereas the F80 is a little bit of a hodgepodge of some of the other Ferraris of recent times. But if I were Ferrari, I would put that out in the market, and then I would see what the collector market said. And when that chassis, when the F80 is done and it's time to come out with the F90 or F100, F150, I would look at the collector market and be like, which one won? Because that's the one that we're going to be going for. And I think the confusion of the F80 is the F80's downfall. I think it wants to be super badass, which it is, but it also wants to be super comfortable, which it is. And I don't think that is what supercar fans, I want to say fans, it's not what supercar fans want. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, does it really matter what supercar fans want? Because we're not always the ones buying them. Because let's not forget the F80 is sold out no matter what we say in the comments. So there's that. Okay, well, I've been Dalton. This has been the Petrol List, and you have been great. Another video that I've been thinking about making is, which supercar is the true successor to the McLaren F1? Is it the W1, or is it the I forget the name? It's the T50. Douglas Murray T50. That's crazy. I definitely know his name. No, Douglas Murray is the commentator. Now I'm into Douglas Aircraft. Okay, T50 supercar. Gordon Murray. Gordon Murray T50. So which one is the real successor? I think I have an opinion. I'm not going to share that opinion because, obviously that would be part of a different video. But I also need to do my research on both so I can make sure that that my opinion is at least somewhat informed. All right, that's it. Talk soon. Bye.